TV presents Gentle Giant with Pam Minnick and Katie Kaufman.
Welcome to the show. Gentle Giants is always interested in bringing you stories of people who are passionate about their horses and caring for them. When we visited the National Championship Draft Horse Pull in Florida, we met Terry Yoder and Chris Hatfield, whose stable of Belgians are truly gentle giants.
Terry and Chris have won 7 world championships in heavy horse pulling, and they say their success is due to the caring conditions they give the big guys. We'll visit with Terry and Chris and learn about equine acupuncture and dentistry.
Stay tuned. This is going to be a very informative show. Welcome back to Gentle Giants. For more than 15 years, Terry Yoder and Chris Hatfield have had a successful partnership competing in heavy horse pulls. They share a passion to provide the best care for these massive Belgians.
I spent a lot of my life just watching the draft horses. And I watched pullers, and I'd go to the fair and watch the pullers up there. I always wanted to dream to do it. Well, I was blessed enough that things went good for me in Florida, and the first thing I did when I had enough money, I went out and bought me a pair of Belgian horses.
I started with ponies, pulling ponies. I drove my first team when I was 7 years old, and we started out that way. Both of my granddads, my dad pulled, so it was kind of in the family, you know. And as a young guy working horses and things like that, I was thinking, you know, about a job, and you know, you talk about your dreams and things like that, you know, well, your dreams can come true. My dream, I remember many days being out with the team thinking, you know, I wish a wealthy guy would come along that really liked this sport and would want to hire me to do that, you know. And lo and behold, you know, 15 years later, I met that guy, and that was Terry Yoder. He gave me a call, flew me to Florida in 2002, and it's just been all good since then, you know. He's more like a dad to me. He's not a boss to me, you know, and he'll tell you that. His wife, Glenn, my mother, my wife, we're just all like a family. We have a lot of the same interest. We both love horse pulling. You know, he's got a very, very nice family. And we're just tight-knit that way.
We've been together now, it'll be going on 16 years. And Chris, it's more than just a boy being a partner. It's more than we're a family. And that pie finally come together. That pie that I was building, we got to ride horses. He's obsessed with it. He eats it, sleeps it, drinks it. When we go out and buy a horse, he has me get on one knee and film it while he's driving them, so we can see that their collars are fitting right, so we can see that their hames are fitting right, so we can get the best ability out of that horse that we can. I just bought a green pair, and he come down here and he worked 4 days with me, and each time he adjusted that collar a little bit, that harness, the hames, that horse give us a little bit more. And it's just getting him fitted right, and he's got that eye, he's got that talent, and a lot of people give Terry Yoder the credit. Terry Yoder don't get this credit. Chris Hatfield has got the passion, the love for it. I've got the passion and love, but he's got the talent.
I like to watch the videos. Maybe I have a horse that stumbles or has a habit of falling down when he pulls, you know. Maybe there's just a little something wrong with his harness. You know, I can't see that when I'm behind the team driving, you know. But the cameraman will get in front, and he'll have all that and puts things in slow motion, and you can see the harness, see how a horse is moving. And when we're interested in buying a horse, looking at a horse, I get these videos, I study those videos and see how he will be compatible with one of our horses. You know, we've just had a lot of success. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff, you know, because, you know, if you're going to be the best at something, you've got to understand it, you've got to study it, and and you're not going to get much of a payoff in life without a lot of hard work, you know. And where I started at such a young age, I've had a lot of hands-on experience. I have a farm there in Kentucky. We keep the horses there for training. We probably pull 40, maybe 50 pulls a year. Yeah, and we keep those. We keep the horses in Kentucky. Our circuit will last. We'll start here in February. We will pull all the way to the end of October. And at the end of October, we'll turn the horses out. We take the shoes off. We let them be a horse for about 45 days. And then the 1st of December, it's back to training, getting ready to come back to Florida. The training program on these horses, we work these horses 6 days a week. We usually get Sunday off. We will drive these horses on an exercise sled that probably weighs 1,000 to 1,200 pounds. We'll drive those horses 3 to 6 miles a day, something like that. And about twice a week, we have a heavier sled that we hook those horses on, and we do what we call lugging. And that is a heavier weight. It's about 6,000 pounds. And we just do that a couple times a week to build muscle and get tone for the horses. But the exercise sled is just mainly for breathing and getting good wind in the horses. It's not like us pullers go out and just get an old horse out of the field and hook him up and go pull. I mean, these horses are athletes. They're trained every day. They're fed the best of feeds, the best of vitamins, you know, best hay. You know, sometimes we think we take better care of these horses than we do ourselves, you know, in our health. But we try and keep a very healthy horse, a very strong horse.
I'm an equine surgeon, and the people that own draft horses do just as much or more. They get acupuncture done, they get teeth done. They send me blood work on a weekly basis on how are these horses doing. They feed the best feed, the best vitamins that can be fed. They spend hours upon hours, I mean more hours than what the racehorse people spend. Not taking away from racehorse people, they spend more hours training their horses. They'll spend 3 hours every day training these draft horses to get them fit for these pulling competitions. And in the last 15 years, they have set 6 world records. When you come to Florida, if you beat Terry Yoder and Chris Hatfield, you're going to be the winner. They do everything that the horses need to get them to perform to their maximum capabilities. And they also research and they try to buy the best bloodlines, the best horses that there are to offer, and they do a very good job. They do the best job out there.
You're in it for the love of it, and with me, I don't care if it's work, I don't care if it's with my home life. I want to be the very best of the best. And I don't have to be on top, but I'm going to strive to be on top. I want to do good at what I do. I want my horses to perform the very best, be treated the very best, present yourself the very best. And if you do that, I believe you can do anything in this life that you choose to. You go in and you see my horses, you see the passion. I mean, I love it. I got a wife that I love very much for 42 years. She's the backbone. She's working her hind end off. So she's a very big part of this whole team that we put together. It takes a team.
Congratulations to Terry Yoder and Chris Hatfield for putting this team together and bringing them out. Obviously, very well trained and conditioned and wetting for the type of competition that we have here this year in Florida.
Stay tuned. When Gentle Giants returns, we'll learn more about ancient Chinese medicine and how it's beneficial to horses of any size.
If you love horsepower, then make plans to spend February in sunny Florida with 3 weeks of good old-fashioned horse-pulling fun and friendships produced by the Southern Draft Horse Association. It all begins February 4th in Dade City, the 5th in Inverness, Florida, the 11th in Arcadia, the 12th in Kissimmee, the 16th at the Florida State Fair in Tampa, the 18th in Bushnell, Florida, ending up on February 19th on the polo field at the Villages in Florida. If you can't be there in person, you can listen live on the web. For more information, visit horsepullresults.com or horsepull.com. Welcome back to Gentle Giants. When horses have pain or discomfort, they can't tell us, but they can show us. More and more horsemen are turning to acupuncture or traditional Chinese medicine to keep their horses comfortable and at the top of their game. Terry Yoder and Chris Hatfield rely on Dr. Cahill from Lexington, Kentucky.
All that I do is acupuncture on horses. Very briefly, acupuncture is a 5,000-year-old Chinese medicine. It's based on energy. I'm sure most people have heard of yin and yang and qi. Probably the easiest way to explain it is both humans, dogs, cats, horses, living things have 12 paired meridians, mirror images of each other on each side of the horse. Some of them are very short, say the pericardium or the heart meridian runs from the heart to the foot. Some of them are very long, start on the face, run down the neck, the midline, down and end up on the hind foot. Some meridians only have 7 points on them, other ones have over 60 points on them. There's about 350 acupuncture points on the body. You'll get a buildup, you'll get an excess of energy in a certain place where the body's trying to heal itself. And if you think of it this way, there's only so much energy to flow. So if some of it is being shunted off to take care of a disease or an infirmity somewhere, then you have another section of the body that's deficient. Probably the best way that I can explain Chinese medicine is balance. Everything is about balancing the horse out. Now, horses are really pretty easy to read. Your cold-blooded horses, like the draft horses, are a little harder than, say, the thoroughbreds, that wear their heart on their sleeve and a real high energy. But basically, when I go over a horse, I'll start tracing the major meridians. The first place that I find stifles, if a stifle's bothering a horse, is right up here. They'll be very reactive. Now, this horse is very supple. You can see how nice the muscle gives to my pressure. I'll also reach down here and trace the meridian back to what's called the alarm point. If you have a horse with ulcers, you can trace this back, and when you put pressure on that, I've had horses go all the way to the ground when you do that. They have ulcers. So what acupuncture does, you don't just go in the sore point. If I've got a horse with a bad lung, I'll go in his ting point around each cornet. There's 6 points, and the lung point is on the inside heel for the lung. So if I have a horse, and sometimes I'll press on a horse here and come back here, and they're just like this. They may reach around and even try to bite me. It'll be very sore. Be a lot of excess energy in this. I want to try to dissipate that. I want to get it away. I'll just go in that point down there, stick a needle in, leave it 10 seconds, pull it out. It'll bleed a little bit. You'll come back up here. The horse will usually drop his head, sigh, come back here, and there's nothing. And just check this horse out. A lot of these pulling horses, now he's not showing it to me up front, but a lot of them be very tight across the face of the shoulder because they do some pulling up front. When I see that on a front, I start thinking behind on the opposite side. 9 times out of 10, that's what's going on. Everybody will see this up front. They'll see that the horse isn't striding out in front, but they don't get to the root problem, which was he was getting off that hind end, quit pushing back there, and he's pulling up front. So basically, that's what acupuncture tries to get at. It tries to get at the root cause of what's going on. Probably the #1 call that veterinary acupuncturists get, "Doc, my horse has a sore back." Most sore backs come from something else, just like in people. So I'm actually surrounding the joint there with these 3 needles. These are the same needles, the same points that you would use, say, in a dog with hip dysplasia. Same process. I use 25 gauge, which are really small. That's what you'd get a flu vaccination with yourself, except these are 1.5 inches long. and I'll inject a little vitamin B12 on these points. The B12 will stay there for about 30 minutes till it's absorbed and put pressure on the point. So basically I'm tricking the body into thinking there's still a needle in there without having to leave it in for 30 or 45 minutes. I'll just put a little in there. You'll see me manipulate the needle. If I've got a horse with an excess of energy, a hot point like back here, I'll work the needle pretty good. And I'll go slow in and fast out, and I'll spin the needle counterclockwise. I do it subconsciously now. That is how you reduce that area. That's how you dissipate energy away from a hot area. One of the things that really interested me when I first started doing this is you get instant gratification. You can have a horse where I get back on the trigger points for, say, a hock or a stifle, and they try to kick your head off. You can put 2 or 3 needles in, go back to that point, it's over.
Sorry. I get that trigger. That's what I wanted to see. That's where he wanted to kick me.
When Gentle Giants returns, we'll show you how caring for your horse's teeth can actually save on your feed bill. Stay with us.
If you love horsepower, then make plans to spend February in sunny Florida with 3 weeks of good old-fashioned horse-pulling fun and friendships produced by the Southern Draft Horse Association. It all begins February 4th in Dade City, the 5th in Inverness, Florida, the 11th in Arcadia, the 12th in Kissimmee, the 16th at the Florida State Fair in Tampa, the 18th in Bushnell, Florida, ending up on February 19th on the polo field at the Villages in Florida. If you can't be there in person, you can listen live on the web. For more information, visit horsepullresults.com or horsepull.com. Welcome back to Gentle Giants. We know that it's important to take care of your horse's teeth to make them more comfortable. But good dental health also makes your horse more efficient in chewing and processing their food, thus reducing your feed costs.
So I'm Dr. Raymond Hyde from the American School of Equine Dentistry, and I'm here working on Chris Hatfield's horses today to try to help them stay healthy and cut the feed bills a little bit. And of course they want to win the polls and whatever other competitions they're doing, so we want to try to make them happy with the bit, make them comfortable with the bit. So we've been coming out for several years here with my school. My students are here with me, my instructors are here with me, and so far we've done about 20 so far today, and we're still working. We work from little miniature horses all the way up to these world champion drafts. We love to come here. This is my students' last day of the class, so this is their big reward. We have 13 students, and we had them get on that scale right there, and all 13 together did not weigh as much as this horse, I can tell you that. These world champion pullers, they can weigh over 2,600 pounds. The students come from all over the world. We have a few veterinarians in the group from Japan, Brazil. We have some farriers in the group. We have some veterinary technicians from different veterinary practices. Anybody that's really, really good with horses can become an equine dental technician according to their state or country laws. They have to work with veterinarians in some states and countries. Other places, they're allowed to have a practice like a farrier. I told them the big challenge will be to do a 2,600 pound horse unsedated with motorized gear. And so I just desensitize them, come up by the face, and see, no problem. And I'll come around the other side. And I desensitize them. It's all about horsemanship skills, right? Same thing. This is Jim, my teaching instructor. He is from Kentucky. He's been helping me at the school for about 10 years approximately. Okay, so we're going to do this horse unsedated. He's such a good, calm, quiet horse. What I'm going to do, I'm going to look in here and just see what kind of issues he has. Right away, I see he has a little irritation here from the bit. Okay, I can see he's got some big sharp points in here on this side, and he's developing a hook right here. He's also developing a hook here. I'm looking in the mouth. He has a slight wave to the teeth, and so we're going to take off the sharp points. I see him down here by the tongue. I'm going to give him a little break. He's been a good boy. Those horses chew about 12 hours a day in both directions, like this and then like this. Their teeth are designed to be like a grinding stone, and if the front teeth get to be too long or slanted or curved and stuff like this, they can actually interfere with the back teeth from functioning. So we don't just take off the sharp points in the back, which is called floating the teeth. We also take off the incisors, or we level the incisors so the horse can chew properly. And we also do what's called a bit seat, so when they pull back on the bit, it doesn't hurt the horse.
You have to keep everything 100% on these horses.
We want to thank all of you for watching Gentle Giants this time. Pam and I had truly a wonderful visit here at Yoder Farms.
And we learned things we didn't know before, and we hope you did as well. A big thank you to Terry Yoder and Chris Hatfield and Dr. Cahill, Dr. Hyde, and Dr. Brown for their information. Join us right back here next week on Gentle Giants.
And in the meantime, you can always see what's new on our Facebook page.
Bye now. As we travel through horse shows and competitions, we see a lot of horses on Total Equine. Why does it benefit horses that are traveling and on the road?
Well, Pam, there are several things that happen when you're traveling with a horse. First of all, even the most veteran of horses are going to get a little tense hauling them down the road all the time. They tend to maybe not drink as much as they should. And if they don't drink well, they don't eat well. And if they don't eat well, a lot of things start going bad in the body. With Total Equine, we keep a healthy gut so they don't get that bellyache. They want to eat better. If they eat better, they're going to drink better. And if they stay hydrated, they're going to stay more relaxed.